want you all to imagine this. You're working a full-time job at a company that runs off of your success. It is worth millions and millions of dollars because of the work you have done. You are logging in 40 or more hours a week, but when it is time to be paid, your boss looks at you and says, being employed here is your payment. This is the current situation that many college athletes face. They are faced with being a full-time student while also being a full-time athlete. They are bringing in millions of dollars to universities and are not being paid a dime. I've always been interested in collegiate sports, but I've not always realized the amount of money they bring in to universities. It was not until recent years that when an FBI investigation was opened on players illegally accepting money that I realized these players are being taken advantage of. College athletes bring universities millions of dollars every year and do not see any of it. To help them get the money they deserve, immediate action needs to be taken. I am here before you today to persuade my audience that college athletes are being taken advantage of and should be paid for their athletic abilities. Today we will look at how big of a problem it is that the NCAA is robbing college athletes of money. Then I will attempt to persuade each of you to act and help get these college athletes the money they deserve and make sure everyone is getting a fair share all around. So let us look at just how much revenue these athletes bring into their universities annually. Student athletes are very valuable and worth a lot more than people realize. The average worth of an athlete's scholarship is around $25,000, which means over the span of 4 years, it is worth around $100,000. A study by Drexel University students estimates the fair market value of the average FBS football and basketball player to be $120,048 and $265,027. Why should others benefit from their performance while they receive nothing of monetary value in return? According to Roger Sherman from SB Nation, the NCAA tournament will be broadcast on CBS Turner through 2032. The company signed an 8-year, $8.8 billion extension with the NCAA for the broadcast rights to March Madness, which only lasts 3 weeks. The NCAA takes advantage of players and makes millions off of them. Up until 2014, the NCAA used players in video games to gain money. According to Darren Rover from CNBC, players are not allowed to sell memorabilia, but the school is. 5 players from Ohio State University were suspended for selling their game jerseys, while Auburn University sold Cam Newton's game pants for $1,500. To say the NCAA is a corrupt business and they should be reprimanded. If no one decides to act, the NCAA will continue to get away with stealing from athletes. Now, to help stop this ongoing problem, let us look at a few ideas on how to prevent this. 2 ways we can stop this is by limiting the amount of money the NCAA makes off of players and by reducing coaching salaries so players can have a monthly stipend. Money should not be allowed to be made from a player if they are not able to receive any of it. The players are the ones working every day, making a name for themselves and gaining value. Allowing the NCAA to make money from the player's hard work is taking everything away from the player has worked for. The salary for the coaches should be lowered so these players can have a monthly stipend. The salary for coaches is extremely too high. Coaches play a huge role in sports, but many of them should not be getting paid the millions that they do. According to USA Today, Texas A&M signed Jimbo Fisher to a 10-year, $75 million contract. This is a lot of money for someone who does not actually step on the field. Now that we know how to fix these issues that the NCAA is causing, I'm going to show you how they will actually work. We'll use a combination of allowing the money that is made from players to go to players. We'll also cut these coaches' salaries by 10%. If the player is not allowed to receive this money while in school, then they should be allowed to have it upon graduation or upon entering their respective draft. Along with the multi-million-dollar contracts coaches are offered, bonuses are included by winning a certain amount of games or winning championships. These bonuses can reach up into the millions of dollars, and players should also see fit to some of this money. Now that we have brought up a solution, let us discuss the benefit of these explanations. The future is simple. Many more college athletes will be inclined and incentivized to stay in school and finish their degrees if they are not being taken advantage of for monetary gain by the universities. More athletes will have their degrees to fall back on instead of relying on their bodies for the income for the rest of their lives. Coaches taking this cut in pay will improve not only players' pockets and well-beings, but will also improve campus facilities, equipment, and recruiting purposes. I see nothing but prosperity for both sides if this was to be implemented. Having this information brought to light and conveyed to us Kevin conveyed to you, let us do our part by supporting these student athletes. Take into consideration the millions and millions of dollars going into everyone's pocket except the providers of this money, the athletes. These athletes risk their bodies and the time at the NCAA's expense to be extorted and not receive any of this money. Athletes should be paid for their likenesses that they are missing out on. Upon having this information given to you, I would like nothing more than for the audience to start a petition to grab the NCAA's attention for all the years of wrongdoing that they have burdened many college athletes with. As we conclude this undertaking, I would like to leave you with the words of my generation's greatest athlete, LeBron James. I've always heard the narrative that they get a free education, but you guys aren't bringing me on campus to get an education. You guys are bringing me on to help you get to a Final Four or to a national championship. Thank you for your time.